friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a topic that so many of us do but rarely talk about, and that is compartmentalizing pain. Putting your feelings in a little box, tucking them away, and just moving forward. Is it healthy? Is it toxic? Or could it just actually be a sign of healed trauma? Let's unpack this together. Recently discovered that I compartmentalize my pain. I don't know. I think it was the Holy Spirit, making me realize that I've done this so beautifully over the years, and I do it without realizing. I just discovered that when something bad happens, I want to move away from it so quickly. I don't want to talk about it, dwell on it, remember it. I want to move from it as fast as possible, and as much as possible. This might be a sign of strength, but then it means that you don't give yourself time to heal. You don't process things, and I don't know if this has come from a place of fear or because I don't want to remember bad things. I don't know where it's come from. I've just been able to do it effortlessly over the years. I don't cry about things. I want to move on, in as much as it might be a sign of strength, but I feel like there's a form of weakness in there. And I don't like to keep journals also, because I feel like it reminds me of bad things, especially when I go back to look at it, and I think it's not a place it's not something I want to remember, especially if it's things that I don't want to remember. If it's something that is bad that has happened, until I find peace about that issue, which could take number of years. And so I think compartmentalizing makes me, process that thing faster and shove it at my subconscious, and not heal from it. Or I don't know how to explain it, but I just know that I compartmentalize pain, and I feel like that some of us that are also on this same boat, we need to talk about it. Things need to change, and that has also made me realize that I think maybe I need therapy, and I feel like going to therapy would be too much for me. I will have a lot to unpack. Maybe I will heal from it, but then it will be lots of memories that I don't ever want to remember, that I would have to share, of which I don't know if I'm ready for that. And so yeah, if you're on this table, grab your cup of coffee and let's talk about it. If you're new here, my name is Adefemi Shimaski, and I film about lifestyle, faith, motivation, immigration tips, and what other things that I feel like could help you. If you like, subscribe, share with a friend. What is compartmentalizing? I'm going to break this down as much as possible. Compartmentalization is when you separate your emotions from certain situations so you can function. Imagine you're going through heartbreak, but you still have to show up to work. That will be me. You tell yourself, I'll deal with this later, and you just push it aside so you can keep going. It's like putting pain in a mental drawer and shutting it, at least for now. Mine, it could be for years. I just shut it out. I'm good at shutting things out and just forgetting about it. My cousin died. I lost my cousin. I used to use this as an example. I think it's a very good one. My cousin died, and I didn't cry until after 2 years, and I just thought about him. I thought about it, then I cried, and I cried well. That was when I was able to forget about it. There was a relationship that I also lost, and when anything happened, it was so painful. I think I cried, but then I couldn't. When I talk about that issue, it hurts me so much that I cry when I talk about it. But until I healed from that thing, it took me a long time, a lot of time, for me to be able to heal from it. Even when it happened, I could not even tell anybody, because it was so shameful for me, because a lot went down. And so yeah, I think those are things that happened that made me now build this defense mechanism. That things happen, I don't want to dwell on it, I don't want to remember it, because it makes me not to function. Especially if you have family, things, people that look up to you, that you feel like, oh, I need to go back to work, and you just sort of don't want to deal with that issue. I think that is what compartmentalizing is. While some of us will do it so well, and it could be a sign of strength, but then sometimes it could be an unhealed trauma. And here's the truth: sometimes compartmentalizing actually is a survival skill. We do it all the time, we don't even realize that's what we're doing. Soldiers use it, doctors use it, parents use it. You don't want to see your children see you break down. They help us stay focused during emergencies, having to show up for others. You are draining, you are tired, but you don't let the pain overwhelm every part of your life. In short term, it can be a powerful coping mechanism. It's your mind saying, I can't fall apart right now. I need to get through this moment. People need me. And that's valid. I had an accident recently. Even to now, I'm not still able to talk about it. And I just wanted to move on from it. Even when people are calling me or messaging me to tell me sorry, I feel so annoyed and angry. Why are you telling me sorry? Nothing happened. It's fine. It made me realize, I was thinking, imagining things like, let's assume my parent died, or God forbid something happened to them. How would I feel? How would I react? And I didn't have zero whole ounce of emotions or how I would feel. And I'm like, don't I like my parents? Don't I love them? But it's not because I don't love them, I don't like them, but I just feel like, as at that time when that thing happens, what we need to think about is how we're going to do the burial, where the money is going to come from. So there are so many things to think about to now even start dwelling on how much I love them, or how much I care about them, or how much they mean to me. And thinking about it now, talking about it now is making me realize that, okay, yeah, there are so many things you need to unpack here. And another thing is, when does this become harmful? It could be helpful, yeah, but then when does it become harmful? Here's where it gets tricky. What happens when we never reopen that drawer? Of which, yeah, sometimes we don't. When every disappointment, every betrayal, every wound just piles up inside us, and we ask for the grace. Me, how I deal with this like that, I just ask God, please help me to forgive, help me to move on, help me to grant me peace over this issue. This thing is painful to me, and that's why I say God is my therapist, because I don't think I would ever be able to open up about things like this with people. Compartmentalization stops being healthy and starts turning into avoidance. You may appear strong, but deep down you're carrying heavy, unprocessed pain. You need to change. Over time, that can show up as anxiety, numbness, overreactions, or even physical symptoms in your body. And you don't know where all these actions are coming from. You just feel like you're so edgy. It just becomes that you have anxiety issues. You can't trust anybody. But you don't know where it's coming from. It's just build up of emotions that you have stored in your subconscious over time, and you have refused to work on it. You've refused to talk about it, and now it has now become something else. This now leads to trauma. And so compartmentalizing always a sign of trauma? Not necessarily, but when it becomes your default setting, when you can't sit with pain, when you can't trust yourself to feel, as I was saying in terms of my parents, feeling, the first thought that comes to mind, well, I'm going to get money to bury them. Well, I'm going to go forbid bad things happen to them. Now God will keep them alive. That can now become a trauma response. That's not healthy. You need to be able to feel. They used to say, crack a joke in my place. They said, if a woman lost her husband and she doesn't cry, you need to beat her. Beat her, force the tears out of her, because it's not a good thing. Not the one that's maybe she killed her husband, I don't know. But then you need to feel. We are made to feel. It's not lack of emotions. It's not because you are emotional or anything. God has made us that way. You need to cry when you need to cry. Even the Bible says Jesus wept. So if Jesus can weep, you are also allowed to feel emotions. But when you can't feel emotions, it's a problem. It's a bigger problem, and that now becomes a trauma response. For many people, especially those who grew up in environments where emotions weren't safe, the brain learned or hide your pain. You are a man, men don't cry, or you'll be hurt more. Don't let them see your pain. The best revenge is to move on with life. What once protected you later keeps you stuck. It could be a good thing, but then if it becomes like pain thoughts that you just keep piling up, it now becomes an issue, and you need to heal. And here is what you need to do. You need to draw a balance. And what's this balance? The goal isn't to stop compartmentalizing completely, because it's also a good thing to do, but it's about coming back to those boxes, giving yourself permission to feel. How do I feel in this situation? I feel so hot, I feel so painful. to journal, if that would work for you. I feel journal brings memories, and there might be memories that I don't ever want to share, or where I want to go back into, and maybe journaling could be something that might heal me from compartmentalizing too much pain. Talk to someone you trust. Cry. Some of us, we need to cry. Pray. Release that pain that you've acknowledged. Pain that's ignored multiplies in silence, and it leads to where we don't all want. There was something that I've stuck in my subconscious for a very long time, and that was growing up with my dad telling me, you have low IQ, you have this and that, and somebody just said something. It was like completely unrelated, and it just reminded me that maybe my dad was right after all. Maybe I have low IQ, of which there are some things that childhood trauma, you just need to like let it go and heal from it, of which therapy is a very good place. I know many people are talking about therapy. I still don't have the boldness to do therapy, because I feel like, one, apart from the fact that it's expensive, I get therapy for free. Maybe like talk to someone, let it out. It's also helpful. Those things that you have compartmentalized, you need unpack them so that you can heal from the pain, and let the pain be the pain, let it go away, so it's not disrupting how you react, it's not becoming a trauma response, and affecting the way you relate and do things in your new now. Analyzing your pain, is it a good thing or is it bad? It's both. It can help you survive, but it can also stop you from truly healing if you never unpack it. The question isn't whether you compartmentalize, but whether you allow yourself to return to the drawer, to open up those pain, those thoughts, those heal what's inside. If this has resonated with you, let me know in the comment section. Do you compartmentalize your pain? Has it helped or hurt you? And just let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real talks of faith, life, and growth, awesome content. And until I catch you in the next one, be kind to yourself and keep healing. Check out therapy if you can afford it. Let's unpack all these things that we have compartmentalized over time. Bye.
Hope you still want me. I hope you still need me.